Alright, this is a message to Hillary Clinton. Hey y'all, it's Demented Caliber here. So I just got done watching a video from a guy named Ben King. It was published on June 5th of 2016. Hillary Clinton on Second Amendment gun rights, June 5th, 2016, ABC this morning. And I gotta say, she is a fucking idiot. I'm gonna tell you why. So she thinks that we can actually propose a common sense gun safety measure that is consistent with the constitutional right, or Second Amendment, as most people know it. That's not going to work, for one, because any tampering of the constitutional rights will result in a backlash that the United States government does not want. Why is that? Because as of 2016, there's currently 324,118,787 people in the United States alone. And let's go ahead and see how many people in America actually own guns. Alright, according to the Congressional Research Service, there are roughly twice as many guns per capita in the United States as there were in 1968. More than 3 million guns in all. Gun sales have increased in recent years. There you go. Now, if the United States government decides they want to deploy troops in order to pretty much take away everybody's guns, well, that's going to be another civil war. That's not what we want. We do not need another civil war. What we need, and we don't even need gun control, we need idiot control, such as yourself. You need to be locked away, and they need to throw away the key. The same goes for Donald Trump, but we'll talk about him in another video. Alright, so, there's another thing I want to point out. Alright, so, personnel, active duty U.S. military personnel from 1950 to 2003, the two peaks correspond to the Korean War and the Vietnam War. The projected active duty strength in the armed forces for FY 2017 was 1,281,900 people, with an additional 801,200 people in the 7 serve components. Alright, so there's roughly little over 1 million active service members. Now, if you weigh your odds, 300 million gun owners compared to roughly 1 million active service members, you can kind of see where the handful of the population, like the civilian population, kind of outweighs the active service members. Granted, the United States military does have tanks, but any service member in their right mind would not actually agree to take away people's Second Amendment rights, because the government fears that people are going to go insane. Now, the government has a right to fear that people are going to go insane, for the simple fact, if you take a look at Sandy Hook, you take a look at the recent events that happened in California with the nightclub, and that sniper that pretty much was washed out of the United States Army. I hate to say it like that, but yes, the government does have a right to worry, but we also have a right to worry as well, because as I see it from the standpoint, the government is becoming a tyrannical government, or pretty much a dictatorship at this point. Why do I say this? Well, if you take a look throughout history, especially within the recent events of this year, with like the whole elections and like the FDA taking their own authority to ban vaping products and whatnot, we're honestly being stripped away of our rights one by one. And to be honest, we need to fight the government on that part. But Miss Clinton, there is no possible way that your gun regulation proposition is actually going to work, because like I said, there's roughly 3 million guns in the US, which is fucking crazy. There's a lot of gun owners in America, and And I love to know where you're getting 90% of the American population, because 90% would result in majority of Americans actually voting for you and not Donald Trump, when we can clearly see that's not actually the case. It's kind of split between 50-50. So in a sense, if you want to look at it from this standpoint, it would be 150 million voting for Donald Trump and 150 million voting for you. But in a sense, not a lot of people in America are actually registered to vote for the most part. And a lot of people don't really get into politics all that much. I mean, you've seen it with the whole Casey Neistat fiasco, with how he asked a lot of people to display who they're voting for, especially major YouTubers. And one thing I do have to say is I followed up with a Scarce's video that he recently uploaded more on the topic. And it seems that you and Casey Neistat, as well as Casey Neistat's brother, actually had an encounter at I think it was a fucking rally or some shit from back when you were state senator of New York, which I find that kind of hilarious. And then your fucking campaign's going around contacting all these big YouTubers, asking pretty much for a sponsorship in their videos so they can tell their viewers to go vote for you. I mean, if you were that good of a presidential candidate, you would rely more on your words than the words of the American people. As simple as that. And my battery's about to die on my other phone, and that scared the living shit out of me. But to be honest, you really need to evaluate your proposition on gun control and your ideology on gun control, because as far as I can see it right now, and as much as I hate to say this, Donald Trump seems to be fit for the White House for the most part, because he's not trying to propose stupid regulations that won't really help anybody for the most part. You may think that gun crimes will go down, but honestly they won't, because in case you haven't realized, and this goes to any gun control idiot or advocate out there, I shouldn't really use the term idiot because that's politically incorrect, to be honest. But any gun control advocate out there, gun control will not work, because these criminals that get these guns, they don't buy them legally, they actually get them off the black market. Now, if you know what the black market is, well, then you know all about the deep web. And if you don't know anything about the deep web, just do some research. Look up how many fucking gun sellers there are on the black market that like to sell illegal guns to these criminals. And Bob's your uncle. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. This is Demented Caliber signing out.